When you make the conversion, a lot of people complain the German average is approximately half. It wasn't so drastically different. Hallo, welcome back to Krautsalat. I am Eric, an American in Germany. I've got a video that many of you have been watching. At the moment, it's by far the most popular video on this channel. It's getting a lot of attention and a lot of views. The 10 reasons why I moved to Germany. If you don't know it, we'll put a link and you can watch it. The response for this video has been massive. First, I'm surprised that so many people are watching it. I'm happy, thank you. Also, the comments are coming in much faster than I can really process in my head. After the response of this video, I decided to make kind of a second part to that. There was a lot of question and criticism about some of the things I said in the first video, and a lot of misunderstanding. I'm going to give you reasons why I moved part 2. And I will talk now about some of the more detailed stuff. A lot of you Germans really like to know more of the details. I will make some examples and some comparisons, still mostly going off of my own experience, but I've got some numbers here for you, and I hope this kind of settles your perception of what you were already thinking that things are like in the US. I've had a few people straight up disagree with me. Like, they don't understand how it's cheaper here in Germany. A Google search will give you a lot of answers. If you've never been to the US, spend a little time researching it if you care. But here I am now, and I will talk to you. I looked up some cost comparisons for living, and I will start with the big one, rent. It's really difficult to make an accurate comparison. So bear with me a little bit here. Like, I looked up information for a 1-bedroom apartment. Now, this is the American idea of a 1-bedroom apartment, not the German idea of a 1-room apartment. A small flat with kitchen, living room, bedroom, bathroom. So that's kind of the basis of what we're going at. So this is a 1-bedroom apartment in the US. Here in Germany, you would call this a 2-bedroom flat. I found that for this 1-bedroom apartment, here's some comparisons. The German average price per month is 853 euro. To put that into perspective, the German average is approximately half of the California average. As I've already said, it's a little difficult. We're comparing dollars and euro here. And I know a lot of you have this big picture of how great life is in California. So that's why I led with this one. California is one of the more expensive states in the US to live. Right off the top, if you think living in Germany is expensive, you're going to pay twice as much living in California. Most of my life I lived in Wisconsin, and the current rent average in Wisconsin is really close to the average for Germany. The US average is about 100 euro more than the German average. Right there, America's more expensive. Yeah, you're gonna find some cheaper places in the US, but you have to look around. Speaking of finding cheaper places, I happen to be living in one now. Hanover is one of the cheaper cities in Germany to live, where the Germany average is 853. Hanover is coming in at about 591. My previous 12 years were living in Florida. The Hanover average is about half of the Florida average. Like, Hanover being one of the cheaper cities, one of the more expensive, or the most expensive city to live in is Munich. And I think most of you already knew that. The Munich average being approximately 1,094 euro per month is about half of the average to live in Washington, D.C. Your most expensive city here is half of the most expensive city in the US. Take what you want out of that. Like, if you don't believe me, you can look it up yourself. I spent, I don't know, 20 minutes looking at these. So it was easy for me to find this information, and you can too. Don't argue with me. If you've never lived in the US, especially if you've never lived in the US, please don't argue with me about it being more expensive here in Germany, because it just flat out is not. I also looked up some numbers for the cell phone, because almost everyone has got their own handy in their pocket. I found a top 10 list of the 10 countries with the highest average cell phone bill. The US came in number 3 out of top 10. Germany was not even in the top 10 for the cell phone bill. Like, number 10 was Spain at an average of $34 a month. And the US in number 3 was $49. As far as the top 10 list, Germany is like less than $30, or 30 euro, sorry. Germany's less than 30 euro on average per month. So depending on what you're looking, it's at least half of the price, maybe a third of the price of the cell phone in the US. So there, you're saving a lot of money too. The food prices, I can put this in with the cost of living. A lot of the food prices, I would say, are very comparable. The grocery store that I shopped at in Florida is called Publix. The one that I go to the most often here in Germany is Rewe. I think the quality of these two can be compared. And in my opinion, the price is also really close. Some big differences, like when you buy something in the US, tax is added on. Here in Germany, the tax is already figured in. So when you see $3.99, that's what you're paying. I think it was like 6% on food. No, I don't remember. Whatever it is, but the tax is added later. So that needs to be taken into consideration when you compare the prices of the products that you're buying. To move on a little bit from the cost of living, because I just wanted to touch on a couple things. Another reason why I moved. A lot of people complain about the taxes here in Germany. I was able to compare paychecks. Luckily, a friend of mine here was able to kind of share some information, and my pay in the US was really close to the pay of this person once you calculate dollar to euro. I looked at the deductions from the paycheck. You cannot really compare, like if I say taxes, in this situation, yeah, the German is going to be paying more in taxes, but getting so much more out of it. To give you some insight, my paycheck in the US, I think, I'm forgetting, but I think there was like 5 or 6 different things. Like, I paid my taxes, but then I had health insurance. I had a separate insurance for dental, a disability insurance. So like if I got hurt and I couldn't work, there was a separate one for that. And then like retirement and like the 401k. But there were so many different things that was coming out of my paycheck. Insurance. When you add all of that up, I think it was like, this was 8 years ago when I did this, but let's just say 29% of my paycheck was taken out. And from the German who I was comparing to, about 33% was being taken out. So that's just a few percentage points. It wasn't so drastically different. And then that's when I look at, well, what you get for it. Like what comes back. If I was sick and had to go to the doctor, I would still have to pay some money out of my pocket. Or like if I was injured and had to spend some time in the hospital, like there was still money coming out of my pocket that I would still have to pay. So if you pay a little bit more right away from your paycheck, or you pay more later, like that needs to be considered as well. But then the big thing is like holiday time and vacations. I myself was getting, I think at the time of this, I was getting 10 days, 2 weeks 2 weeks paid vacation during the year. And this was a job that I had had for quite some time. I worked there for about 12 years. Once I got to the 10-year mark, that's when I got my 3rd week. So after 10 years, then I had 3 weeks of vacation. It's a little bit different. I think some companies may have different policies on that and may offer more, but like I was working for a corporate owned company and this is what they did. So after 10 years, I had 3 weeks holiday. In the meantime, my German friend was collecting 30 days. So 6 weeks. I think that's a bit high. I think that's a bit more. Not everyone gets that much. We also looked at the paid, like the national holidays. On this particular calendar year, my friend counted 17 days that, like the national holidays, like when the company was closed. This was a good job. I know that that's not average for everyone, but here the German had 47 paid days off between personal holiday and national holiday. And I had 16. I had my 2 weeks of vacation and 6 paid holidays. I was able to make all these comparisons and see such a drastic difference that it was easy for me to want to move, to want something different. One of our favorite topics, beer prices. Here in Germany, imagine going into the bar. Maybe you pay 3 dry euro, anywhere from 250 to 350 maybe. You pay $4 for a beer at a nicer restaurant. Everywhere that I've gone so far around Germany, maybe your city is more expensive, I don't know. But let's just say you're paying $3.50 or $4 for a beer. It's common in the US, you're gonna be paying 5 or 6. If it's a small bar, you're paying $4 to $6 for a beer, easily, dollars. And so the dollar is a little bit more than the euro right now, so you're paying more there. And then it's customary to tip the bartender for every drink that you get. $1 per drink is casual, so you're paying $6 or $7 for a beer. And that's gonna put you about double the price here. I've got a lot of reasons for moving. I made the first video talking about my happiness. Now here I broke down some information with the costs, and if you don't understand me yet, do your own research because I don't want to make a 3rd video. There's no reason. I've got lots of reasons why I moved here. It's not as simple as 10 topics for a YouTube video. I'm happy with my decision and I don't regret it. I've told a few people, like, I understand too. Like if you are not happy living where you are, then it's up to you to change and do something different. Like, stop complaining. The moment that you pick up and you go move into a different country, totally change your life and start over, that's when you and I will have a good conversation. I don't want to be critiqued saying that I made a bad choice because you are too stubborn and ignorant to make the changes for yourself that you're not happy about. So that being said, check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Krautsalat is there now. We will start doing more updates. We got some merch coming. We got a nice little shop. The link is down below in the description. And once again, please click subscribe and keep watching with me, and we'll keep making videos. We got more plans. We want to get up out of the studio and get out in the world and do some cooler things, but we're waiting for this restrictions to lift. And so we'll do some cool things with you, show you the world a little bit more, get out and show you Germany. All right. So Feierabend.